Yo, what's good? So yeah, I'm back with a video. Like start of the year, I thought, you know what, it'd be a really good idea for me personally to just start making content like a weekly video on my trading and how I'm learning, because I'm still relatively new to the game and still learning. Like there's so much to learn. So yeah, I did 2-3 videos I think the start of the year every week, and my trading was going really well. I was really consistent, and then I sort of went ghost and like disappeared really from doing it. So I give it all the big and about yeah this, and then I just fucked off. Just yeah man, just like sort of life got in the way. I ended up going back home for a month, so I wasn't really doing that much on the charts, and then I left IM actually back in Feb. So those of you that don't know what IM is basically like the educational platform I joined when I first started to learn to trade. Don't have a bad word to say about it at all. I think it's amazing for people who are starting out. I think a lot of people join it for the wrong reasons, and it has got a very bad reputation. Like if you was to just YouTube it, you'd see people like just talking about fakes and scammers, and people just use it for like signing people up and blowing money and blah blah. So I think I was very fortunate with the people that I joined under. A big shout out to a guy called Cam, who's I was just lucky, to be honest, like just to find real genuine people that actually were sick at trading and didn't chat shit about let's sign 10 more people up and you're gonna get this. Like there was a half of the business that was like that, and that fucking jarred me so much. I get it, like hustle, do your multiple streams of income, but don't just sign people up who can't even afford to fucking pay their own Netflix bill, do you know what I mean? And then they're paying like 200 quid a month to sign up to trade, and you're telling them how to trade and you don't even trade yourself. Like I don't like that. But that wasn't why I left. Like I loved what I did. I learned so much from there. I learned all the foundations, the basics, the discipline, the psychology. Like big shout out. I still keep in touch with a few people from it now. So yeah, man, I'm very blessed and fortunate that I found that and had that kind of avenue to get started. So yeah, I quit that back in Feb. Had like a month or two just not really doing much. Like I said, I went back home to UK for a month. We're still kind of doing bits every now and then, but kind of started to steer off track, and we're sort of trying different things. And eventually made the decision to just join another community. Basically I wanted something a bit different. Like IM was great, there was a lot of people in it, there was a lot of noise, there's a lot of educators. I found myself as well at the time, I was like being a bit too dependent on like relying on others for like confirmation on, is this a good idea, is this a good trade setup? Seeing what guys are putting in and like taking their trades without really looking at like a lot of the mistakes that I was saying in these videos to not do, I was going and doing them myself. So again, I was a bit contradicting myself. So I just thought I need to just take a step back, and things are still going well, and like I believe I'm doing very well for someone who's still very new, and I'm something that I'm going to keep at. But yeah, even just like I feel like when you're starting off as well, like to be surrounded by other like-minded individuals that trading as well, and have the same ideas, and kind of are entrepreneurs if you like, and have all these other investment ideas and stuff. I think it's just good to be around those kind of people anyway. You can look at as many free courses as you want online, and you're never going to really get that trajectory of improvement and leveling up as you would if you was to actually pay. And so yeah, I'm doing that now with someone else. I'm loving it. And yeah, this week I sort of made the decision to I'm kind of back in the mix. My trading plan is more solid. I'm back to doing my thing and how I trade, and blocking out the noise. I've done things like where before I was looking at like 20-30 pairs, and I had like 20 alerts set up, and I was missing trades. Like I had like 10 alerts going off at once. It was just a bit of a mess really. So I'm just trying to enforce a bit more discipline, and just stick to my plan and try and block out some noise really. So that's what I've been doing. And I thought, why not come back and give this content stuff another go? And again, like I said before, I don't make videos for other people, although they might benefit people, but I really just want to do it for myself now, and just kind of use it as like a documentation of, so I can look back in 6 months, a year's time, and see what I was doing then compared to where I am now. And if I'm going to be given examples on trades I've taken, I'm not going to take stupid trades and fucking over leverage and stuff, because then I have to sit and talk about it and kind of go through that. So again, it's for me to stay, so I've got itchy nose, to stay disciplined and just go from there really. So yeah, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I'm gonna record twice in a week. So like now, end of the week, today is a Saturday, it's Saturday the 7th. I'm gonna go over like what I did last week, trades I took. I didn't take much because you had an NFP and a lot of other news. Go over that, what happened, maybe trades I had marked up that went really well but I didn't take, just to kind of show an idea, and then anything that I lost as well, and then kind of talk about what's coming up next week, what am I looking at with certain pairs, and then throughout the week as I take trades, then I'll record again at the end of the week to say, you was looking at these 3 pairs, this is what I anticipated, this happened, this didn't happen, or you know, things changed so we adjusted and so on. So that's kind of what I'm looking to kind of do with this new format. So yeah, so that's a bit of a waffle of the intro. Though not every video is going to be this long-winded to start with, but yeah, I just think like I didn't want to look like a twat, obviously doing a couple of videos and then disappearing, and then yeah, so kind of back to it now. So another thing that I've been doing a lot more of and being more regimented with is my backtesting. My backtesting is something that I wasn't really doing a lot of, and I didn't really have a process in place. So I highly recommend anyone that's trading, whether you're trading for 6 months, 6 years, like it's something that you should definitely be doing, especially on pairs that your kind of core pairs. So let me just jump to the chart for a sec. So what I've been doing is, if I go to my backtesting log, well, even on here you can see now that the pairs that I stick to now are a much shorter list. So CJ, NZD, CAD, GU, EU, GN, EN, and then gold. I'm paying a lot more attention to gold as I get a bit more confident. But this is it really. I don't really look at much more. And these are the pairs that I kind of backtest. So right now I'm kind of just focusing on GU. This is my GU backtesting plan. This is my plan here, and this is just what I stick to and what my strategy consists of. I look at the weekly and daily trend. So which way is price moving? Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Then you know, I anticipate what's going to happen next. Are we looking for a pullback? Are we looking for another impulsive leg up? I then look at kind of the market structure on a 4-hour. So yeah, what does that look like? Are we creating any liquidity? Are we pulling into areas where we might get a potential reaction from? Then once I've identified that, then I look at 4-hour and 1-hour. So IC are like institutional candles, or IPA, which is basically imbalance, improper price action, and then that's where I look at my entries. So this is like my core, and this is what I stick to. Like where I was looking at so many different pairs and seeing what other people were marking up and so on, I was kind of getting a bit distracted from my core approach and how my personality is with trading. So yeah, it's definitely something to have written down and have in front of you and try and stick to. So other things that are kind of other additional confirmations for me are like looking at cycle levels. So any price where it's like a whole number or quarter level, so 0.75, 25, 50. Your weekly cycle, I won't talk about the weekly cycle now, but I definitely will cover this in another video. I think it's really powerful on how price moves and what it does behavioral wise throughout the week, from a Monday to Wednesday to Friday. The time of days as well. So like, you know, these are all other confirmations that, for example, if price is in a certain area that I've marked out to be an IPA or IC, and it's on a cycle level, it's a certain day of the week that I like, and it's during, you know, like London Open or New York session, then these are just other confirmations where I just won't hesitate. I'll just take the trade. Like trading is probability, right? Like it could go either way at the end of the day, but it's just about having a higher probability and managing your risk, right? And then lastly, like key fundamentals. Haven't really looked much at fundamentals, but now I'm focusing on like a smaller handful of pairs. I really am trying to focus on that. Like for example, on Friday we had some CAD news, which essentially made the CAD weaker, if you like, which helped me with a sell that I was in that I'm going to cover. So yeah, just wanted to cover this quickly. You can see from here my GU trading. This is all my back testing, where I basically will do like the pair, whether it was a long or a short, the entry date, the exit, how many stop loss and pips. You'll see my stop losses as well now. Like where I was trading like the 5 and 15 minute, I was trying to get these really small stop losses that were like 5, less than 10 pips. I think now, like if the risk to rewards there, if it has to be a 20 to 30 pip stop, like I'm cool with that, as long as it's like a 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 6. And stop trying to catch these like 1 to 10 moves. Like, you don't have to, right? My target's 5% a week. I'm happy with that. I'll do a before screenshot. This was my before screenshot. Can't really see, actually. That's a bit of a shit one. Hold on, let me try another one. But you can basically see, I was looking to ride price up to this, which if you was to zoom out, you would see there was a point of interest here, probably a level where we expect to come. I look for breaker structures. Here's my IC. You can see there's a down candle before the move up. We've got a bit of imbalance in between there. This is on the 4 hour, so I think maybe on the 1 hour it probably looks even better. And then I do an after screenshot, so you can see it tapped into that, reacted off, and that was my exit. So simple as that, really. Maybe I had a cleaner one. And then the time of day, like you can see, like a lot of these AM ones are London Opens, and then we've got 2 p.m, which is around New York session as well. So if I look at a 2 p.m one here, might be a better screenshot. So yeah, you can, it's like this blue bar here is at a higher point of interest I had open. We came into that, we nearly got stopped out actually by like a pip, I think, and then eventually it came back down and we took profit. So yeah, this is just examples, and I kind of look back at these every week. So here's another one. So market sentiment switched, we were kind of bullish, we then broke structure. There was this nice candle in here, up before a down, we broke below these lows, simple stop, a target in this low here. And then this one I went and did like 1 to 6, really simple, came into this area and went, like, it's as simple as that. I just try not to overcomplicate things that much anymore, and just keep things nice and simple. So yeah. So in terms of a trade I took last week, like I said, I didn't really do much, but now I only look at a few pairs. So CJ is like one of my favorite pairs. Like, I just like the way it moves. I start off again, remember what I said, my backtesting log weekly, daily trend. So we start off on the weekly, we see where we are. So some people might zoom out like this and be like, oh yeah, look, we're bearish, but like, you can't really look back and take a trend from 2007, right? So what I would do is I would kind of zoom in a little bit. Okay, so CAD has been very bullish since 2020, right? We've had this big push up. Like every market, there needs to be a correction, there needs to be a pullback. So I marked out this weekly order block here. So order block is basically this little candle here, last up before a big move down, broke the structure. So this is what I was waiting for CAD to raise up to. I think I got a couple of buyers in this, but yeah, this is essentially what I was waiting for. Then I go to the daily. Okay, we saw that we tapped this order block, we made a big shift down. So I'm thinking, right, okay, is this now price is going to start to pull back into this? I would like price to come back to this weekly demand down here. Okay, so I then just kind of, again, it's just being patient, right? We've waited so long for this move to happen. Let's go down to the 4 hour. So now on 4 hour, I'm looking at market structure, right? So this is now when I start to look for my entries and look for market structure. So we've tapped this order block, we're bullish, right? We've came down, we've broke structure here. Right, okay, we broke structure, we left this little candle. We could have looked for an entry here again as it come back up, but I don't know, maybe I just missed it. I probably was. This is probably when I was looking at like 20 pairs at once. But what did price do? Price came down, it created equal lows. So this now for me is like, okay, this is liquidity. We need price to come and take this, or potentially even come and react back off this again. I noticed we made one little pullback up. We failed to make higher highs. We didn't break above this high. So that was one thing. So I thought, okay, and then we broke structure again on the 1 hour. Okay, so now I'm down into my 1 hour. So we made this nice little candle here where we broke structure again. So I'm thinking, right, okay, I'll start looking for some sales now. What other confirmations do I have? So one confirmation I had is, if you look at this, this is bang on the 102, right? There's a whole level, psych level. Okay, it's a imbalance. There's a lot of price action here that needs to be filled. So I was pretty comfortable kind of taking this trade from here, 25 pips, looking for a minimum to come down to this area, 1 to 6. Ideally would like to ride it down to this, and if we get really lucky, we could even ride this all the way down to this weekly demand, depending if we want to hold it out or not. This is examples of things that I kind of look at. You can see my sort of higher time frame analysis, speaking about that, sticking to this plan. This is my plan. I try not to move away I will sometimes look at 5 and 15 minutes, like breaker structures maybe, especially on gold. I'll probably use that, and maybe GN and EM because the pips move quite big. But yeah, that's just an example. Another trade that was here last week that I didn't take because I just wasn't confident in taking it was gold. The gold again broke structure here, again on a nice, left this candle here, bang on psych level 1910, literally tapped it to a T and then dropped. So the reason I didn't take this is because I think even on the 5 minute it just didn't give me anything. So normally I would look for like a breaker structure to say, for example, okay, we broke this structure here, right? Then I would have probably liked it to come back up into this candle, but it just didn't. It just didn't give me anything. Maybe here if you was watching it, but nah, it was fine. We let it run. And then you could have caught another nice buy. Oh, that's another nice buy up from this candle here, as again this one is one that broke structure here. That's all it is for me. It's just looking at price action, the trend, following the trend on a higher time frame, increasing that probability, looking at breaks of structure, pulling back into these candles, seeing where it's not so much what it is, it's like where it is. So where is it on the chart? Where is it in terms of the time of day? What price is it at? What's happening in the world? Blah blah blah. So yeah, these are some of the things that I kind of look at. I just wanted to come back with a quick little overview video, bit of a kind of recap intro into what I do, what I look at, and then yeah, we'll kind of just try and keep this going again. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Again, I only look at a few pairs now, so try and keep things a bit more disciplined. But no, appreciate you guys listening to me if you're still listening on this far. Anyone has any questions or wants to just connect anyway, like, you know, if you're trading and you want to, you know, bounce some ideas off each other or something like that, then more happy for you to reach out to me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram in the description. But yeah, hope everyone enjoys their weekend and I will speak to you soon. Take care.